So
Here we go. Here we go.
All right.
All right, guys. Hi, it is Brent Abel here. I'm in Houston, Texas. I just got here a couple hours ago and playing the indoors. I got a couple days to try to get used to the lighting here. And
you're in Houston, Texas. I was just making sure the hotel you're at didn't have like the, Brahma bull on velvet on you above the bed. Sorry.
I think, let's see, where are we? 2019. Yeah, 30 years ago. Yeah. Yeah, we would have been, we would have been doing this from the cocktail lounge with the Brahma bull, the real, mechanical bull. You're going to have to behave, okay? You're going to have to behave on this one. Anyway, so guys, here in Houston, I got a couple days to try to get used to the lights here, which they promised me last year when I played, because it took me like 3 or 4 days just to kind of see the tennis ball. And the guy, oh yeah, this year we got the new LCDs coming in. It's going to be great. And of course, I see the tournament director in the airport in Houston. He'd just been in Palm Springs for the BNP, and he said, "Hey, Brent, hey Keith, what's going on, man?" We had a little chat. I said, "Hey, those lights are in, right?" He goes, we couldn't quite get them in this year, and I'm just going, all right. So anyway, I
couldn't quite change that bulb.
No. So anyway, here I am.
Anyway.
Yeah, I'm in room 1109. Whoop-de-doo. So look, this is our first nighttime episode, Jeff. This is like monumental. This is episode number 56. We've done 55. We're on a daily roll. I mean, not only am I impressed with the first nighttime, this is like, Stadium 1 at the BNP. It's, not before 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
I mean,
totally.
So, okay. I wonder if the folks are wondering what we're going to talk about tonight.
Yeah. Right.
Probably going, fellas, if you want to get to it and stop just yucking it up between the two of you, that'd be great. So anyway.
Everyone wants to know, Brent, how was the chili?
Well,
sorry.
I had the garden tacos, actually.
Good. Okay.
With no cheese. Just because. So look, I'm going to have to be serious here because I know that Mr. Jacklich up there in Napa is going to have a tough time tonight, being a little bit serious, which is good. Which is good to see him, to see this side of him, because he's normally. Well, actually, before we started talking about this, you were bringing up Seneca and Stoicism, and you normally during the mornings you're so stoic and quiet and just totally just whatever, But tonight's kind of a different deal. So. Look, I know that, and you rattled off a few things that I said, look, each one of those things that you rattled off that you want to talk about tonight, those could be like 60-minute podcasts on, all by themselves. So
easily.
I don't think the folks want us to go on for 3 hours. So I'm gonna ask you to cherry pick one that sort of is kind of top of mind for you right now. But you've been listening to some podcasts lately, doing some heavy, deep thinking, Jeff. So what's going on up there tonight?
So the first question that kind of started this whole thing in my mind was, I'm going to get my glasses on because I wrote it and make sure I wrote it correctly, right? I'm going to look over here. The question is, for us to kind of, bat around here a little bit, does league tennis help or hinder the participating player improve in general? Is it, you know what I mean? Because and I'll lay out some of the groundwork here because from having coached multiple teams and all that over the years, and one team does well and then their season gets extended, right, by weeks, which then dovetails and overlaps into the next season that starts, And so all of a sudden there is no gap time. And, you and I have kind of a different take on how you prepare for tennis and tournaments and things because there's downtime in between to be able to manage your progress, work on stuff. And so for me, listening to all the the conversation about the league with the league players, to me it just raises that question that as much as they're participating, is it helping or hindering their progress?
Yeah, well, it's a messy situation, and not only from where you were as a tennis director at a club, and all tennis directors I think kind of go through this with things like dealing with, do we have non-members in the team so we can fill out a team?
Don't get me started.
Okay, well, okay, why don't you write that one down, because that'll be for another episode, because that'll take that. I know that one will take a while. But I just think it's messy from that point in terms of administration, and then you're right. I mean, the players are talking about stuff that is taking them away from. I could use league tennis as a real kind of the experience of what I've been working on. So if I'm working on something, and there's no reason to. I mean, look, if you're playing in so many leagues that you're playing Monday night, Wednesday night, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday league matches, then you're on the tour. I don't know.
You're oversaturated.
That's right. And there is, either you're going to burn out, or there's just. But I think what you're trying to get at is we need a time period to be able to evaluate the realities of how we're playing. Let's just talk about players who are just playing league tennis, right? No tournaments, and they're just playing
league players, right?
Yeah. And so, how do they evaluate the realities of where they're at in terms of what do they really need to work on? And that in itself is a little bit tough because, well, either I don't want to get bumped down because I don't want to get bumped down, which means I better not go work on stuff, because what I've got right now is I got to hold on to it, because all I hear, at least from Jeff and Brent, is that if you go work on stuff, you got to put your ego, leave it at the gate as you walk on the court, because if you're seriously working on something, you might go down to someone that you normally beat, and that's just in a practice session. We're not even talking about the match itself, right? In the practice session, and you got to be able to stomach that, and then you go out and you play the league match, and you take a loss. And if it's in doubles, I mean, people are really concerned about working on their game in doubles because they don't want to be the one who lets their partner down, because they're working on their game and they're trying to figure stuff out, and so they're taking a temporary hit in skill level. So it's and then of course they're the other players who are completely sandbagging, who really don't want to work on their game, because then they might get too good and someone would get pissed off and say, well, and complain. So I just think it's
and then let's add another layer there, the social implications, right, of
who you are.
No,
you go to the Christmas party. You go to the Christmas party and someone introduces you as a 4-0, and you go, Jeff, I just got bumped up to 4-5. Remember? And you go, oh my God, you're a 4-5? Wow. And of course, no one cares. No one cares.
No one's talking about it at the dinner table except you.
That's right. So I just think it's super messy, and yet I do think, I mean, I do use league matches as ways to sort of have that experience that is different than tournaments, where it's like a one-time shot, and you're at a different venue, and can I really use it as a learning experience about my game?
Right.
Because I will, even if I was playing a lot of league tennis, I'd still be working on stuff.
Right. And that's, and definitely I don't want to give the impression that, that league tennis is a horrible thing or anything like that. I have my opinions about it, and I think it does serve tennis in a general way, in a good way. It does create the opportunity for a lot of players who wouldn't otherwise have an opportunity to play, a time and a place to play, because they work 6 days a week, and the only time they can play is the 7:00 match on Thursday nights and the Monday night practice with the team. I think those are really wonderful things that need to be in place to keep the game alive, But but at the same time, when someone is, when one of those players though wants to come out on the court and Jeff, help me out here, I want to blah blah blah, and I say, well, I got the match Friday, so I won't be able to do it this Friday night, and then we got the districts are coming up, and then sectionals and districts, and so but can we just work on this though right now, and so to me, I look at it and kind of go, why are we here?
I'm kind of at the point where I wish a lot of league players could mentally get to, which would be, look, this is just league tennis. It's just another form. To me, it's another form of practicing, and it's the results get posted. That's fine, but in the end, what do we really care? I mean, if you need it for social status, then we got to get you some help. We really got to get you over and get with a shrink. But I mean, if you can look at it as just this is another practice opportunity. Sure, it's competitive and you want to win, but it can get messy.
And that's the challenge is when the player themselves are saying, we want clinics, we want to improve, we want to do this. But everybody retreats to their comfort zone and their warm fuzzy when it comes match time, because there's just no way they can let the team down, can't let the player down, can't let my partner down, can't let anybody down. And yet, so then it's just this self-fulfilling prophecy of never actually improving.
Yeah, well, there's
the emphasis and the importance and the commitment is to the team, not actually to
Well, I mean, it's a bigger commitment to a team than just playing a tournament with a doubles partner. I mean, you know as well as I do. If you're signed up to play doubles with someone, you're not gonna, start hitting balls 24 hours before the tournament just to see if you can get in shape. I mean, you're gonna right.
I better start lifting, right?
Right. Yeah. All right. Anyway, so. I kind of get it. I just think that in the end, if you really are serious about wanting to become a better player, that you could change your mindset about league tennis, and look, I mean, the team ought to be happy that you're out there, that you're taking lessons, you're getting coaching, and that you're doing some drills and you're practicing, because we all say, well, it's going to take a while, you're going to get beat by people, but unless you're doing major surgery on some kind of a stroke or some technique, which we really don't do, right? There's
right.
I mean,
it's rare to actually in senior tennis, it's very rare to go in and do a rebuild.
Yeah.
A total breakdown and rebuild. It's really rare.
And I guess my advice would be, if that's what you're doing, I mean, if you've never been able to make the ball turn up on your backhand, that you've always played a slice, and for whatever reason, we talked to a gal the other day about this, and she like, I really want to get a topper backhand, I really want to get a topper forehand, and we're going, well, okay, how come? And she's going, well, doesn't everyone have to have one?
Right.
I mean, it's like you got to have a driver's license, right? You got to have a social security card. No, just you can. I mean, can you hit it over there? Yeah. Can you lob it over there? Yeah. Okay, so we don't need to top it. And yet some people decide, for whatever reason, I want to do major surgery. And I would say, if you're going to do major surgery, maybe the league this season's not the right time for it, because the point you keep bringing up is that you're going to continue to revert back to your old stuff.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to screw it up. Fuzzy. Right. So
and so I'm going to throw this in there too, that I noticed that the senior players that I'm working with now have all kind of made adjustments in their team tennis activities, that they've actually cut back to be able to take the time to work on the things we're working on, which is primarily not for team tennis. It's primarily to be in the hunt for a gold ball.
Right.
And they use team tennis, they use the league tennis as opportunities to play matches and work things out. but all of them have cut back on that schedule to spend more time on the practice court and giving attention to those things that they say are important to them.
Yeah.
And so that making that adjustment, I think, is really key. If you can do that, if you're a league player and you truly want to make adjustments and advancements in your game and be someplace else 6 months from now, a year from now, 3 years from now, you've really got to look at it and figure out what is your priority in this whole deal, and where do you want to be, like I said, 6 months from now, a year from now, because it's going to take you're going to have to take a different plan to get there if the plan is to improve certain aspects of your game and actually move them forward. So
Think of beauty there, Jeffrey. Wow.
You're
as a man thinketh.
So if he become.
Okay. You know what? Okay. All right. Look, I think we've beat this one up pretty good.
As a man thinketh,
yes.
So he is. Yeah.
Okay.
And I think was that James Allen?
Could have been.
Yep.
Yeah, it could have been. Probably was. I think it was.
I think it was.
So, all right, guys. Look, we're gonna let you go. Let's see. What do we got here? We're still offering the free 10-minute coaching call.
Yeah.
Got to bring that one thing that's really bugging you about your game right now to the table. And it's a private call. Just you, me, and Jeff will arrange you will arrange a time. You'll cherry pick a time on our online calendar scheduler. If you're not on our email list, go over to goalballhunting.com, drop in a first name and email address, and you'll get kaboom right in the calendar, or at least a page that will give you the link to go to the calendar, and you can cherry pick a date and time that works best for you. On that, Jeffrey, what do we want the fine folks to do right now?
Like us, share us, please subscribe, leave a message below. Let us know what you think.
And on that, let's see. Well, this is to a wall to the hotel, and that's to the door. Get out there somewhere, wherever you are today. Help someone else have a spectacular day. Jeffrey, we're going to do this again tomorrow.
I can't wait.